Mad's World. Today I'm joined by Live Laugh Lauren, aka Lauren Edwards.
Hey yo!
I'm obsessed with your name. I actually was thinking about it today, and I was like, that is just so you.
Oh, thank you.
In my head, like I think I say live, laugh, love. Like I started saying ironically.
Same.
Like in work but now it's in work meetings. Like I'll say it like at the end to close things. I'll be like, okay, everyone, live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.
See you later. Like
yeah.
It's. People think I'm being serious, I think, and I'm like, no.
This is we're not.
Weird.
It's an ironic thing now.
Yeah,
it's coming back around, but it's ironic.
Do you think it will ever be like? You know how like Twilight was cringe when it came out? It was like loved and then cringe, but now like
it's
Gen
loved
Z,
again.
It's like kind of like become this cult classic.
Yeah,
and
to me it's a cult. I'm not Gen Z, but like I love it again.
I watch it often,
all the time.
Like I will put it on in the background. Because like always the first one, the others I'm like they'll get a little bit of rinse and repeat, but like the first one's getting like pounded.
I mean, I watch the second sometimes because you gotta get that scene in where have you been, Loca? Like that's gotta get like
Hello, where you been, Loca?
Into my veins. I just can't believe that I never really appreciated Robert Pattinson and how actually funny he is.
He is so funny, and I actually think he is one of the best actors of our generation.
Oh,
like
cool.
Genuinely though, like, and I haven't seen the drama yet with him and Zendaya.
Neither.
But apparently it's fucking amazing.
Okay.
He's very funny. Like he's just so
weird dry and weird.
Like he's a weirdo.
Like one of my best friends from high school, we're still very close, and we have like just a group chat of the two of us now. It's just us sending Robert Pattinson memes.
Amazing.
That's all it is.
As
like,
it should be.
It used to be us bitching about people we know.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I'm in love with Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Here's some Robert Pattinson content today. And it's just like him like cracking up and like, you know, what's the word? Corpsing on camera.
What's corpsing?
It's when you break character and you laugh.
Okay, he did that in Twilight.
He corpsed a lot in Twilight, and there's so many videos now where you see him do it. So I like send them to her.
I'm obsessed, and like it's the one scene where I was talking about it. I'm like obsessed with Twilight. I was literally talking about it on a podcast the other day, and like that bit where he's in the dance studio and he's sucking the blood out of Bella's arm, and then no, what's the dad called? Carlisle's like, "You're killing her." And he's literally laughing. I'm like, that's the best take they got. Like, and they were like, well, this will have to do because we can't finish
ask
this
him
scene.
to do it again.
Yeah.
The one I did the other day
funny.
is the one where she's pregnant. It's right before she like her spine snaps in two. God. Anyway,
What?
I can't believe someone approved that in the writing room. Anyway, well, it's in the book, I guess. Anyway, it's the one where she's like, you know, forgive me because you know she's gonna die, whatever the fuck. And she's like, I know you don't agree, and blah blah blah. And he goes, I can't even do it. I can't live without you. And then he like goes to turn to the mirror, but he like clearly goes, and that's the best take that they got.
A lot of like, are they just rushing through it like, right, we've got to get these scenes out, like, that'll do.
Well, I feel like by Breaking Dawn Part 2, because weren't they like together, then they'd broken up by then, so they were probably like, he was just like, just get me.
Apparently it was all a showmance because she's like a proper lesbian, like.
She is.
Like, and I think she was the whole time.
I mean,
you know, like, I think they just pretended. Kind of like how Sydney Sweeney and that guy, you know that movie they were in, it was in Sydney and they're like...
Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Who has a mouth just like Jennifer Lawrence. I can't unsee that.
Okay, I'm going to have to Google that later.
Yeah,
but yeah, they like
the
had a big showmance and it like made... But then, I don't know, they both had girlfriends and like boyfriends.
I mean, I'm happy for them now. Like, they've moved on.
Are they together?
No. Like that. She's married to a woman. He's married to a woman.
Robert Pattinson and Kirsten.
Yeah.
I thought you meant...
Oh,
Sydney
you meant
Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about her because I do not
I
like
don't
her.
care.
And I don't
she's
like Glenn
just like
Powell either.
a weird MAGA Republican, and like she like will come on videos and be like, hey guys, like just to let you know there's a real girl sitting behind these boobs. And she'll be like piece to camera.
Really good impression.
Literally like and be like, I'm watching all these comments and it's just so upsetting, and like, I'm just like, yeah, but you're like actively supporting like making other people's lives shit.
Yeah, and you're also just like kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like this whole women supporting women bullshit, no. No.
When it comes to Sydney Sweeney,
no,
absolutely
she doesn't
not.
count.
And it's not because I'm jealous.
Like, don't get me wrong, some women are allowed to, I think that we need to let women be shit. Like, that's okay too. Yeah. But she's also boring.
Yeah, and also she just does a lot of things. And I'm like, okay, once is enough. Now now we're talking about eugenics. Like, why is that coming into it?
Yeah.
You're weird.
Yes, and also I do think Hollywood is really pushing her. Like, there's a real PR campaign behind her now, and I'm like, not on board.
And it's because she comes from old money. Like, I just know her family's living on a plantation or something.
100%.
In the deep south.
100%.
And they're just funding this PR campaign to make her likeable.
You know that she's distantly related to, like, Blake Lively for sure. Like, their families definitely know each other.
And just, like, have that diva energy where they're like, I deserve this.
You're too young. Sorry. No.
Go live life a bit.
Live, laugh, Lauren.
Live, laugh, Lauren.
Live, laugh, love.
Go to Europe. Go to Europe.
I mean, go anywhere.
Yeah, go and shag an Eastern European, then come talk to me.
Go and have sex with a Frenchman, then come and talk to me about your problems.
Literally. Well, that's a great segue into what I want to talk to you about, which is my favourite topic at the moment, being child-free.
Yeah.
Because I am someone, so I'm 32, I have never really had a desire to have kids. I love my freedom. I love doing whatever the hell I want. I've also never met a man that I'm like, okay, I would want to,
Parent with you?
Yeah, like give you a surname legacy and become a project manager for your offspring. Like, I've never met a man that I'm like willing to do that for.
No, that's completely fair.
Yeah, but then I'm also like, I get FOMO and I don't want to miss out, and I don't want to be 80 and be like, yo, where is everyone? Oh, I didn't create anyone to hang out with me. Guess I'll just be in the nursing home chilling.
I guess so.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, I'm really torn, but I'm leaning towards no, because I have lots of friends in England and I like to go and see them. And I like to also sometimes be hungover and not have to make school lunches and things like that. You know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And you're happily child-free.
Yes.
And I find it really inspiring, and I need to ask you all my questions that I've been thinking about.
Please.
And for anyone else who's confused, this is your chance to find out all the real facts, because I spend a lot of time on Regretful Parents Reddit.
Oh my God, what a great space on the internet.
Isn't it wonderful? About it?
I sure do.
It's so good. Honestly, there was this one girl, and this is kind of like what made me start thinking like, okay, like being child-free, could be a great thing. Like if I just decide I don't want them. It was this woman on TikTok, and God bless this woman. Like, she was there and she was with her baby, and she was just like this chaotic, like ADHD, like kind of like, I saw myself in her, and she was just like holding this baby, and she was like, listen to me. If you're seeing this, the algorithm is probably similar. Do not have kids. She was like she's like, I love this child. That's great. But she's like, I hate my lifestyle. I miss, like, obviously she had postnatal depression and she was going through some shit, and it's not always gonna be that bad, but she was like, if you've ever had any mental health issues, if you've ever been like unstable with money, if you've ever if you like your alone time, if you like seeing your friends, being creative, all those things, like, you will genuinely hate this. And like, she's like, I've lost all my freedom. My husband just goes out to work and does whatever he wants. And I'm like,
I mean, it sounds like this is a him problem specifically, but yes, point taken.
And I was like, wait, and she's like, go on Regretful Parents and read the things, and everyone in this Reddit thread is literally like, I wish I was dead. And I'm serious.
I know. I'm laughing because it's true.
It's so grim. And sometimes they'll just be like, obviously a lot of them are depressed, but before they had kids, it sounds like they were fine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so that's where it started for me, is Regretful Parents Reddit thread. But did you always know you wanted to be child-free, or is it something that you figured out over time? Like, how did you come to the decision? Because that's the thing for me. I'm like, how the fuck do I decide?
Yeah. Well, listen, the answer is a little bit of column A and B.
Okay.
So for context, I'm 41, by the way.
Mm-hmm. You don't look 41.
Thank you so much.
And there's a damn good
because
reason
I
for
don't
that.
have children.
There's a reason for that.
So look, to be honest, I am the oldest daughter and the oldest child in my family. So I always had a little bit of a maternal role in my family. My sister particularly is 10 years younger than me. So I was quite maternal towards her. So I think there was always a part of me that assumed I would have children.
This is the thing. It's like the assumption, and then you're just like, wait, I don't have to do that.
Correct. So I always just assumed I'd have children. I really like kids. I have nothing against them. I could definitely see myself raising children.
Yep.
But then what kind of happened, I guess, is just through a multitude of circumstance, my life decided to go in a different direction. And I think I won't talk about all that in detail because it's not very exciting, but it's quite boring. But I think there were a few watershed moments, one of them being that, you know, and I am in a long-term, happy, stable relationship and have been for 8 years. But I think one of the first things that really, I suppose, shifted the sails is that my partner and I, just as we were probably about to start that phase where we were like, should we try and have a family, is when COVID hit. So 2020, 2021 is when we, if you like tracked a kind of normal kind of progression of a relationship, that's probably when we would have started. I know we'd had conversation about it, but we were locked down together in a very small apartment for a year and a half. So our relationship really went off the rails and things got really, really hard. And I'm okay talking about this publicly because I put it in my comedy show and he knows about that, so that's fine. But we went to therapy and, like, you know, we had to really, really fucking work at it.
It was a fucked up time. It was a fucked up time. I feel like that happened to a lot of people, and like half of everyone I know just broke up.
Totally. And
had a kid.
And don't get me wrong, like, I feel like we're lucky we got through it. I often make this joke. It's like I felt like we survived like the snap in Avengers Endgame. Like like we were one of the lucky ones.
Everyone else
was just gone, but at a cost. You know what I mean? Like we survived, but it was a bit grim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was one of the big sort of factors. And I, you know, because I was 35, 36, so like kind of prime age where I probably would have had children, and then that sort of went out the window. And then just over the next couple of years, as we got our relationship back to where we wanted, and we wanted to buy a house, and we had other plans, we wanted to go overseas, all this sort of stuff. I just started to really go, is this ever going to happen, and do I actually want it to happen?
Is it just because like it just seems like the written thing to the next step? And like you know, obviously as a working comedian, like a lot of my jobs take me I'm working at night a lot, and you know, I'm like you, I like to travel. And sorry, that was a bit of a sound effect. I like to travel. My family live in Queensland. I want to do festivals and all that sort of stuff, and you know, fitting a kid into that is quite difficult. But for me, it was like I really had to wrestle with this. I really had to come to the understanding that what I was actually grieving was probably not a genuine want to be a parent, but more so I was just grieving the assumption that I would eventually be one, because as a woman or as a girl, you're very much positioned as a younger person that is an inevitability for you. So I'd just grown up assuming I'd have kids, and then when I didn't, I felt sad, but I really it was this weird sadness where I was like, actually, maybe I'm just grieving the life I thought I was going to have, but actually that's not what I truly want. It can be better than that. Or like more suited to what suits your lifestyle and stuff.
Well, also too, I remember saying to my partner, I don't want to have kids unless I only want to have the conversation about having kids if you are 100% in. Because already women take so much of the burden of labour, with both physically and mentally and literally and figuratively in looking after kids or parenting. And I said, I don't want to have a kid with someone who's half in.
Honestly.
Because we won't make it anyway. It'll break us up. So unless you're 100% in, we shouldn't even have the conversation kind of thing.
Totally,
And I think he'd also been like, I'm just not sure. And I was like, great, I'm not sure either. So if neither of us are sure, why the fuck would we do it?
This is the main thing they say on Regretful Parents. If you're not sure, don't do it. Because it's like, it's already going to be so hard and it's going to be like probably the hardest thing you'll ever do. And if there's any chance that you can't undo it.
Totally.
It's forever.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And I feel like a big thing for me was I feel like I've kind of already decided I'm not having them, but then because I'm single as well, I just don't know how I'm going to feel if I do meet someone good. And I'm like, because also this is the whole thing, like, I love the idea of having a little person that I get to like watch Harry Potter with for the first time, and they don't know that Snape kills Dumbledore, and then you're just like, oh my god, this is such, you know what I mean?
Totally.
And I know I can do that stuff with other people's kids, but like having someone where you can be like, oh, I really like art, let's find out if you like it too, like, do you know what I mean? So that kind of thing, I'm like, that sounds really fun. And I'm very like just silly and childish in my own manner anyway, so I love the idea that like I would get to go and like kick a soccer ball around with the kids and like that kind of thing is fun. But I can do that with friends' kids.
100%.
And then someone was like, it was my therapist actually a few years ago, because I kind of said this to her and I was like, you know, like, what about when I'm old, if like I, you know, have no one and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, there's no guarantee that your kids will even like you or visit you. I was like,
or even speak to you.
Yeah. And she was like, your kid, like, and I was like, oh, I don't want to miss it on that unconditional love and that feeling of like that everyone talks about where it's like, oh, I'm like obsessed with this, like I could never felt a love like this. And she goes, there's no guarantee you'll feel that either. Some people hate their kids. Some people abuse their kids, abandon their kids. Like there's plenty of people that have had kids and then been like, oh, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. In fact, a lot of people do feel that way.
Yes.
And like I'm reading this book at the moment called Matrescence. And it's about like how, you know, in adolescence and stuff, it like everyone collectively understands that being a teenager is really hard and like super traumatizing and taxing and it's an emotional turmoil and you basically evolve from a caterpillar to a butterfly and it's this big experience, right?
Yeah.
And then pregnant people and like mothers, basically the focus is all about this baby and then they have this huge change and it's all about this concept called cultural apathy. Like people just don't give a shit about the mum's like chemical changes in their brain and the physical and the trauma and stuff you go through because everyone's like, oh my God, baby. And then people aren't honest about the real experience of motherhood, which is a lot of the time really bad and shit, and the patriarchy's just made it this way so that men can like go out and go to the pub and refer to their wives as the old ball and chain. I'm like, I've been on antidepressants for 11 years. If I went through that, I'm like, I would kill myself. Like I actually could not, like I get overwhelmed if I've like try and go to the gym and do a podcast in the same day, which happened earlier to us. Like I'm like, anyway, I just feel like I just like dumped a whole bunch of information, but my whole thing is there's no guarantee that you will get what you want from this experience, like love or closeness or a little friend that hangs out with you. Like they could also be like severely mentally disabled. Maybe they're nonverbal. They don't talk to you. Like it's such a risk.
Also, too, I think a lot of people, when they talk about becoming a parent or wanting to become a parent, a lot of people, and I know that it's not a conscious thing and I'm not making a judgment call, but I think a lot of people frame it as to what parenting is going to bring them. Yeah. And what you actually should be thinking about, and something I had to really confront is that parenting is not about what it brings you. It's about what you can give to a new person. Yeah. Because they don't owe you anything. Like being a parent, like I understand there's lots of people who have wonderful experiences and I'm happy for them and I know those people and they have happy children and that's great, but that's not guaranteed. It's not the norm. And I think, you know, I do sometimes think that, and I've been guilty of it myself, like we just frame parenting as if like I'm going to miss out on something. And it's like, if that's why you're doing it, that's the wrong reason.
And that's literally my only reason, because I just don't want to get to 50 and be like, damn it, I'm bored. But also I won't be bored. But you
won't be.
Because also I've never been bored in my fucking life.
Exactly.
I've literally never, ever been bored. Because I will go and find a new hobby or I'll go and hang out with my friends. Like, never in my life. And I guess when I'm 50, I'll have way more money.
You'll have worried about kids. Totally. And like it's like I've said the same thing before, like, are you worried about when you get older? And I'm like, first of all, we're probably all going to die in like 20 years anyway. So
literally. Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. Like there's no guarantee that anyone lives to 80 or 90 or whatever.
So we could die next week.
100%. And also too, like, someone once asked me, like, are you scared of being lonely? And I said, well, I've never felt lonely in my life up until this point.
That's so true.
So, like, and yes, it's easy for me to say that now because I'm 41. I have lots of healthy, able-bodied friends. I have a strong community. I have a job. I have a partner, blah, blah, blah. But, like, if I feel lonely, I know what to do.
To get out
I have a community. Like, you know, like... there's again, when you don't have children, you have so much more time to build community and to invest in relationships. So I could, like, and it sounds like I'm trying to brag, but it's also just like I have like at least 5 people I could list off the top of my head that I could call right now if I was in trouble or I needed them, who would come immediately, like who would do whatever they could to help me, and like I would do the same for them. And it's not even like a conscious thought.
It's just a given, just a given. And that's like because you've had the time and the space to actually invest in those relationships
Totally.
and work on them and stuff. And that's kind of how I feel, because two of my best friend from when I was 3 is pregnant right now, and another good friend of mine is pregnant, but she's in London.
Yeah.
And like I've not had a close friend have kids yet, just because like when I lived in England, everyone kind of just lives like Peter Pan and, you know, doesn't want to grow up until they're
That's
40.
what you go to London for. I get that.
Yeah, and it's awesome. But like, just I don't know anyone that has had kids. And then now my bestie's having kids. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have kids. I don't have a relationship. I've got a pretty disposable income. Like, I'm going to fucking help you as much as I can. So I'm like reading this book about motherhood. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be one of those people who doesn't have kids and like hates kids and whatever. I'm like, no, because that could be my new bestie. And I get to go over and be the fun auntie.
100%.
And then go home and, you know,
live my life.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's no, you know, like I can still build that friendship and like be there for Lauren, and like that's so important to me. But then she was like to me as well, she was like, well, I guess you can just see how it is, and if you don't like the sound of it.
I was just about to say, like,
a good
when your best friends or siblings start having children, I think that it's such a gift, because you get a front row seat into what it's
100%.
like, and you also have the opportunity to build your own relationship with them as parents and their children. So I think that'll be so great for you, and like, you know, both as a learning experience, but also for you to take on a new role. Like, there's this wonderful quote I read last year, and it's really stayed with me, and it talks about how, like, you know, how everyone talks about you need a village, and that is absolutely true. I think everyone needs a village, particularly parents, but in that village you need villagers. And not every villager can also be a parent. Every village needs non-parents.
And like, who can show up.
The aunties, the guardians, the uncles, the friends, the cousins, the big sisters, the big brothers, like they all play a huge part in the village, because parents can't do it all by themselves. And, you know, like, I think about my nieces, for example, my brother and sister both have children, and I, you know, would throw myself in front of a train for those little girls, but but I do, you know, I think to myself, I hope I get to have a really close relationship with them as they grow up, because, you know, I have great uncles and aunties myself, but I don't feel overly close to them all the time. But they all have their own kids. So I do think to myself, like, I'm sure my aunties and uncles, when I was born and they didn't have kids, maybe they were like, oh, I can't wait to have a relationship with my niece. But then they have kids of their own, and then that takes away their focus and their time, and that's totally normal. But like, for me, I don't have to worry about that. If I want a relationship with my nieces, I can dedicate as much time as I like to them without feeling guilty.
That's actually so real. And the villager thing is like, I think there's such a thing at the moment where people are like, you don't owe anyone anything, you know. I
hate that.
It's and it's like,
you actually, you do owe people a lot.
It's like, we're social creatures. We need to be around others. Like, the last 2 years I've been freelancing, and I was so bored and lonely, and like, I'd sit around, I get anxious about stuff, and like, I've recently started working full time purely because I need social connection. And I'm still doing my own thing and stuff, but I'm like, there's actually something to be said for going into an office every day, speaking to people. Like, I'm not sitting around overthinking about some stupid guy that doesn't care if I lived or died. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I'm just...
being connected to people feels really good.
It feels good, and it fills your cup, and it actually like stops you from being depressed. And people are like, oh, well, if you don't want to go to someone's birthday, like, you need to prioritize your self-care. And I'm like, self-care is going to the birthday party and being there for your friend.
100%.
Because then they will do that for you,
100%.
and that is good.
I hate the phrase, you don't owe anyone anything, because that is absolutely untrue. You owe people a lot. You don't owe them, you know, your time and health and effort at your own expense, but you certainly do owe people the, you know, the I guess not the privilege, but you owe them the time and the effort and the connection of reaching out to them and going to their birthday parties. And if they put on a comedy show, or they write a book, or they have a job thing and you can help them, like, we do owe each other those things, because that is exactly how the world works. Like,
it's how we got this far.
Correct. I think individualism is sad and is a sickness. And I think it also, like, also reinforces the idea that everyone's the main character in everyone else's story. And it's like, it's just not true. Sometimes you take a back seat and that's perfectly fine.
And it's actually nice to not have to, like, be the focus all the time. You know, It's nice. Like, and, like, sometimes when I get anxious, it's because I'm like, oh, I've done something, like, and everyone, I feel like I'm under a magnifying glass and everyone's judging me and thinking about me and bitching about me. And I'm just like, God, it must be nice to just, like, not feel like this. And so then it's like when that happens, it just makes you want to relish in the times when no one's thinking about you and you're like, I can just sit here and paint all day and no one is going to give a fuck. Like, I don't need to do anything. You know what I mean?
No. Well, I think the healthiest thing my therapist ever told me I'm a self-obsessed Leo who does stand-up comedy. Like, I'm the worst as they come, as bad as they come. But I remember my therapist saying to me, sweetheart, no one thinks about you that much.
I love that,
and
though.
I was like, that's actually really freeing. Thank you so much.
You know, it's like, it's like I'm free.
Yes.
You know, and like, I always think about if someone else has a spot on their face, I genuinely wouldn't ever see it.
I would never even register in my brain.
Same. Like, I just don't, I'm not looking that close, or like maybe I'm bad at eye contact. Like, I don't know, but I just
don't notice that shit.
Like,
who does?
Yeah. And then, like, if, you know,
I mean, my mum, but that's different.
That's a whole different story. Like, wow, she's big. Okay. You know? And like, if someone watches my Instagram story and I'm like, oh my God, like, what do they think? I'm like, I'm going through like this because I'm like, I'm not even really reading it. But that's maybe because I have ADHD and I'm just like, I just don't.
I mean, look, having a baby would mean that you'd have no time to do any of that.
Yeah, which
it would just knock it straight out of your brain.
Literally.
So that's a plus.
That's a plus.
But I wouldn't have a kid just for that reason.
Yeah, like, as in not...
Why are you having children? Oh, I don't want to scroll on Instagram anymore.
So true.
You know?
But then I feel like there's a lot of mums on there posting a lot of pictures of their kids. Yeah. Would you ever post pics of your kids? Because I feel like I say that I wouldn't, but then if you ever saw my dog, every day.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no one's trying to, like, come and, like, kidnap my dog.
That's also true.
You know?
I mean, I think generally no, but having said that, I do post pictures of me and my nieces, but I generally only do it on my story, so it's not permanent.
Yeah.
And I have posted grid pictures of me and my nieces when they were babies.
And they're not every baby looks
and they're
the
not
same.
Identifiable, as in they don't have a uniform on. You don't know where we are.
Yeah, true.
They just look like a bald baby. Like, you know,
every baby looks the same.
Every baby looks the same.
They do.
And I also, I mean, yeah, I try, if I see my brother and sister are posting the girls, I'll post them.
Yeah.
But if they're not doing it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But if I think as they get older, and I know I can sense my sister is starting to do this too, I won't be posting them.
Yeah, because also it's like they don't get a choice. And I don't want them to be chronically online. Like,
no.
I hate that shit. I feel, and this is my other thing, you know, Adolescence, the show, that Netflix show?
Yes.
Obviously you've watched Netflix if you don't have kids because it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And that scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, what if I raise a little shit who I hate?
Totally.
Like, what if
I mean, they're all over regretful parents on Reddit. So many people are like,
little incel
oh my
kids.
God, I had a kid and he's an asshole. And
yeah.
it's like,
and like, this kid's fucking stabbed a girl. And I'm like,
my son tried to fucking...
Yeah. It's just so mental.
Kill me with a knife. It's like,
genuinely. And I'm like, and then I think about the kids in school, like, that, you know, bullied me or were just like gross or whatever. I'm like, ew, what if that was my kid?
And also too, a lot of those, I think about the kids at my school who were like kind of bullyish and, you know, that kind of kid. And I remember their parents probably had no idea. They probably were very normal parents.
Literally,
you know?
just like the same as anyone else's parents, just like Aussie parents that are like, just, you know.
My kid's normal and fine.
Yeah, but they're, and like, you know, like I feel like as well with the internet, they can just go and learn anything and become a fucking, get recruited by ISIS or something. And I'm just like, what do I do now?
I do also.
What the fuck do I do now? He's gone to the Middle East.
Do I call Lifeline?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do?
Beyond Blue. Like, I'm really sad about this fucking thing.
My kids joined ISIS.
Like, literally, what do I do? Call the police?
I mean, what are they going to do?
They'll be like, where is he? Don't know. Can't help you.
Do you have his phone? No.
Nah.
I don't know his password.
He's probably got a burner phone. Like, God. He's got a Finsta.
He's got 100%. We've all got one of those. I also think, like, just like the economic conditions of the world and like, you know, I've seen people say, oh, but every generation was worried that their children would grow up and blah, blah, blah. But I do think in Australia, the financial kind of projections in terms of the like housing crisis and the cost of living and like how already people who are in their 20s and 30s now already can't afford to rent or buy.
Yeah.
What are we going to do in 30 years when the next generation is at that point?
You'll end up being like having your kids living at home.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to go and... Because everyone's like, oh, it's just till they're 18. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone... I left home at 19, 20. I don't know anyone since I did it, apart from my friends, obviously, who are in my generation, but I don't know anyone whose kid left home at that time.
I know a lot of people that had left and have gone back because either like with interest rates and stuff, this is such interesting chat, but like with interest rates going up, like my friend was literally like, I can't afford the house I live in, so I'm just move home and rent it out. I'm like, that's crazy. You can't even buy, and it's literally like a 2-bed unit.
Totally.
It's like, I can't afford it, so I'll move home.
Well, that's also another reason we haven't rushed to have kids or didn't rush to have kids, because we're like, you know, I remember saying to my partner, you know, I'm 40 years old and I finally feel like I have the money to do the things I want to do. I'm not on a constant budget.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we had a child, we'd be back to living on the breadline kind of thing. Like,
literally.
It's just, I just don't know how feasible it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And I guess, that's kind of what I'm thinking, like, and this is the thing as well, I'm acting like right now I have a choice, but for me, there's no way I'm having kids as a single woman. Like,
sure.
Never on this planet. Like, it's just not something I could do, and I would fail at it miserably. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not an option.
Sure.
So my option is to have kids in a relationship, which I am not in one right now. And I'm like, okay, so can't do that. And that's also if my partner is good, which... track record, not great.
And if they want to have kids,
right?
Because you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to have kids with someone who it doesn't know.
Or someone that you're just like not sure about. Because I'm like, I'm going to have to hang out with you forever. And even if we hate each other and we get divorced, I'm still going to have to see you because we have this kid and he's an incel and he takes a knife to school and then we have to go and
he's been recruited by ISIS and now we've got to deal with that together.
Literally, and we're like trying to fucking get on to the Middle Eastern fucking being like, help, get him. And then I have to talk to my ex and his new wife's there and she's younger than me and she's really hot.
I'm trying to get on the phone to DFAT and then when I've got to text you at the same time. Literally, I don't want to deal with that. Like, that's totally fair.
So I'm like, okay. And I've loved people before, but then I've still been like, but you're pathetic. You know, like, you're hopeless. Do you know what I mean? I'm like one of my exes, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like on his phone, he'd be like, oh, just learning the names of roads. He's just on Google Maps looking around.
Oh.
And I was like,
that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, do you work for the council?
No, literally just a tradie. He's like, I just like to know where to go without having.
I was going to say, is he just mapping his route to work?
No, he's just looking at the surrounding areas just to learn them. And he wasn't even autistic. He was just interested in it.
Hey, that's nice.
And I was like, well, I mean,
listen, I will say this as someone who has a lot of female single parent friends now. If you are worried that you might view your male partner as inept or pathetic,
it would be worse.
It would be far worse if there was a child involved.
Really?
Because, well, unfortunately, from my experience, you know, I hate to generalize, but I do have a lot of people in my life who are single parents, and a lot of the reason why they are single parents comes down to the fact that their partners were just
hopeless. Yeah. And I guess that's the thing. It's like I get so easily pissed off when, like, when I was living in share houses, if someone doesn't pull their weight around the house, I get raging.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but if that's someone who actually like committed to having this little human with you and trying to raise them and you have to do all this shit, because I'm like, okay, I'm already really busy having my own shower, doing my own hair, getting dressed for myself. Now I have to do it twice.
Totally.
Every day.
And it never stops.
And you can't have girl dinner, which I
mean, you can, but just like at 10 p.m. when everyone else is asleep. You know what I mean?
I still have to cook for that little thing.
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't want to do that.
No, I think to myself...
That's crazy.
Like, I think to myself, sometimes when I, like, look after my nieces and stuff, I'm like, oh, I love them so much and it would be so nice to have a little person in the house. But then after a few hours, I'm like, this is really intense. But then I think about the days where I'm at work or I've got comedy festival or something and things are really insane and my partner also works long hours and I come home or we come home and we're just so like our nerves are fried and we're just completely done. And sometimes I come home and I go, imagine having to finish the day and having to go pick up another person who would immediately demand everything, like needs to be fed, all these things. It's not their fault.
And be rude to you as well.
I couldn't handle it.
Like, absolutely not.
Like my boss asks me to do the job that I am literally paid to do and I'm already like, how dare you?
You're like how could
you ask me to do that?
What is wrong with you?
Correct. Are you insane?
Out of line.
But I think to myself, like, how is your nervous system going to handle it when it's 11 p.m. and some little person is like, I can't sleep, I need milk, I need this, you need to make me this, I don't want that, I don't want that, I want this, change my nappy, make me this, where's my bear, where's this? I'd be like,
I'm overstimulated, you need to get out of my room. And they'll be like, what does that mean?
Yeah, and then I'd have child services would be called and they'd be like, what's wrong with you?
ISIS would be in touch with them being like, you're not happy, get over here, we'll sort you out. Genuinely. Yeah. But like my mum's friend from work is just become a new mum and she came over the other day, she's like, I feel like the family cow. All I do, I'm the milker. Yeah. And I'm like, that's so
I've had
upsetting.
Friends say that.
They're like, I just feel like I'm just demanded for my milk. I was like, oh my God, I've never thought about that. And it's it's never when you choose, it's always just, well, guess I'm going to be milked now.
Yeah, totally. I guess I got to go to the dairy farm.
He doesn't need to be the dairy farm.
Yeah, I remember a girlfriend of mine, she had twins right before Christmas one year and I went over to my girlfriends in Brisbane. We sort of tried to get together when I got for Christmas. And one of them had just had twins, like literally a few weeks beforehand, and she came, which I thought was so amazing. Yeah. I was like, you superwoman, you. But she spent like 80% of the time in the bedroom because she had to constantly feed because she was like, as soon as one of them is finished, the other one starts. And so we, went in and sat with her for a bit. But I remember her just being like, this is my life. Like, this is what it is.
And you just feel like, God. And you don't have a choice. You literally have to do it.
Totally.
You know, it's like, I mean, you could do formula, but it's still like, you still have to like, if a baby's crying, like, it'll die if you don't do it. And I'm like...
Generally.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait. Like, I don't feel like it.
And your friend is, like, right, because you said this at the beginning, like, there's just so much... I do think, women are at risk of just being completely erased as soon as they have the baby. And I'm guilty of that too. Like, when my friends have had babies, I'm obsessed with the baby.
You're like,
I'm like, give me that baby. And I want to cuddle the baby, blah, 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 blah. But I do try and consciously be like, how are you? Like, what do you want? What do you think? What do you feel? And I think a lot of people in the regretful parents Reddit feel that way.
Yeah, and especially because it's like a lot of thankless work too. Like, if I think about how I behaved as a teenager and as a kid, I'm like, oh my God. You know, like that. And if you think like someone... I used to just think like, well, if they didn't want to do it, then I shouldn't have been born. Like...
I mean, I still think that a little bit now.
Like, well, I'm just a product of what you raised.
That's right.
I'm allowed to be a cunt.
I'm trying to get my dad to buy me a new car because my car's dying, and I'm like, well, you had me, so I'm 41, but I'm still your responsibility, old man. That's so
funny. The way that my dad would be like, fine, literally.
My dad would never.
So funny.
He thinks it's a joke. It's not.
No. And when is the car coming?
I really need an electric car.
And I was thinking the other day, are they going to go up in price because everyone wants it?
Probably.
But like, is that, like, surely that's happening, but can they do that?
They can do whatever they want.
But like, I just thought like once the price is there, it's like, they can't just be like, now it's $10,000 more. Like, they're not going to do that, are they? That's so crazy.
I mean, blocks of Cadbury chocolate are now $10 and they were $5 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, those bags of the little solid eggs, which is my favourite
are
Easter
$9.
Thing, it's insane. I got a big one that was $20. It was like a huge one. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
$20.
Yeah. And I'm just like $20 to walk around with little balls of foil in all of my pockets for like...
With chocolate that's probably past its use by
Genuinely,
date.
I do love those things though. I think I get a bit addicted to them.
I like the solid... I only like the little solid eggs with the caramel in the middle or the some like the peppermint or whatever.
Ooh, I like just plain old egg.
The plain's also good. The red tulip plain ones are good.
Yes. But the hollow, I'm like, you taste weird. You taste like a candle.
Yuck.
Yeah.
You do taste like a candle.
You taste like eating a candle, and I don't like you.
Correct.
For real. Here is my next question.
Please.
Even though I feel like we just talked about all of them. But
Okay, great.
what are the best parts of being in a happy child-free relationship that, like, what does that look like to you?
What is my actual reality? Or
Yeah, what do you like the most about it? Like, what, you know, and, like, it can be things that parents would also have.
Yeah.
But, like, just being in a relationship and not having kids, like, what are the parts that are great?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, one of the greatest parts about it, I guess, is that, you know, all couples go through good times and bad times, but when you don't have kids and you're having a bad time, you have the time and the mental space to fix it. Like, you can come together and talk about it. You can spend more time together. You can go on date nights. You can go away. You can do whatever you like. Like, I think that is something that I probably do take for granted, to be honest, because, you know, I've never had children, so I don't know what that would be like otherwise. But, like, having the freedom to when things do get a bit harder, having the time and the resources to focus on that is really great. Also, we get to travel a lot, and
that's good.
And we, you know, we have a disposable income, like. We get to do we really do get to do the things that we want generally.
Yeah.
And we get to, if we have something wrong with the house, we can kind of just fix it.
Yeah.
And we get to be the fun uncle and auntie. Like,
that is the best.
That is the best. You know, I also have a nephew on my partner's side, and like he likes to come over to our house as well. And like, we get to do all the fun shit with them. And then you know, then we get to go home and then go into our quiet house that's clean and orderly, because I really can't stand clutter and mess. Like, I think I would also really struggle with that if I had children, knowing that it would overstimulate me and make me very unsettled.
And just makes you feel like, I just feel like I can't live in dirt, you know what I mean? I have a bit of a germophobia.
Fair.
But even the other day, my like cousins came over with their new baby and like 4-year-old, and honestly there was just hot cross bun everywhere after. It was being flinged as like a
children
like a
just
bullet.
have sticky stuff on them.
I was like,
unexplained sticky shit
crazy.
Everywhere.
Like,
well, I
hell?
also got sick the other day because I went to Brisbane to see my family, and my nieces had been a bit unwell, because kids are always sick. You know that when toddlers, particularly when they do that thing, because they don't just cough, they cough at you like this, like right at you, and so they look like those koi fish.
Yeah. So good.
Anyway, so I got quite sick immediately following that visit. Anyway, just look, the feeling of being able to come home to a quiet home with your partner, and you just lie down on the bed and decompress together and like read a book, doom scroll, whatever, in peace and quiet. It is lovely.
And like life, because like I think like, would I get bored? But then I'm like we said, I've never been bored. My life's always been chaotic, and now that I'm working full time again, like the feeling of coming home and just going and laying in your bed in your clean little pajamas and not having to speak, I'm like, I don't want to talk. My social battery's died.
It's
if
gone.
I came home and then there was someone being like, where do babies come from? I'd be like, YouTube it. Go on YouTube, Google it. I don't care. Like, figure it out.
Dolly Dr. Babe, I don't know.
And then I'm like, I don't want to have an iPad kid, but Lord knows I would be giving them an iPad.
If I found myself pregnant tomorrow and I had to have a baby, 100%, I wouldn't even pretend that I was like a screen-free parent. No, not even close. I'd be like, on the screens immediately.
Yeah, like watch Blippi. I don't care. Yeah, like, and sometimes I'm watching that and I'm like, this is good. The other day I was on TikTok and there was these fruits, like bouncing little fruits, and it was on that song, no broke boys, no new friend, and it was just fruit going like this, and I was like, I'm no better than an iPad kid. Like, this is awesome.
I could watch this for an hour.
Lord knows I did. Like, it was amazing, and I had the space and time to do that because I don't have kids.
That's right.
You know? So I feel like that's my answer right there, you know?
If you want to watch bouncing fruit, you can.
They had vegetables too. They had both.
Hey, that's a balanced diet.
The world's your oyster, right? I want to know, what would be your, like, one piece of advice to women or, like, me overthinking? Like, I think about it every day. I genuinely, at the moment, it takes up a lot of my brain power.
Yep.
What's the one thing you would say that could maybe alleviate that?
Can I say more than one thing?
Say anything you want, please, for the love of God.
The first thing I would say is that not having kids is fucking amazing. So, like, your life doesn't have to look like you think it does.
Yeah.
If it goes in a different direction, you might be shocked at how much you like it.
And I feel like I just want to give in to that and be happy with my decision.
Yep.
Because it's like once I've decided, I'm like, great, that fucking mental load is gone.
Yes.
Because it means I know that I can visit my friends in London. I can meet their kids. I can still be in their life. Like, that to me is so exciting.
Yes.
And so fun. But then I'm like, this little part of me is like, you'll be bored.
You will naturally grieve the expectation of being a parent. Let yourself do that. That's perfectly normal. Doesn't mean that you're making the wrong decision.
Yeah.
You're just processing. I think I was just processing just an assumption as opposed to a genuine need to have children.
Yeah.
And like, once you say, actually, no, I'm actually happy with not having kids, your brain will open up into all of the great things you get to plan.
Yeah.
Because you can be like, I can do whatever I want now. So like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And it can look like
10 years
whatever you
ahead.
want. Whatever you want.
Yeah, that's so fun.
But the other thing I would say is like what everyone on Regretful Parents says, if you are not sure, do not do it.
Yeah, that's like the best advice. And I think I've never been like, you know how when you're growing up and there's always the kids that want to play mums and dads or play teachers and like they're the teacher and you sit there as the student and they like make you write lines and like, or like look after it. Never been me.
Yeah.
I've just never really cared, you know?
And parenthood is basically just a full-time caregiving role, and
you have to work as well.
You have to work as well. You have to do lots of other shit as well. Parenting is just taken for granted in society now. Everyone's just expected to fit it in around everything else. So like,
which is weird as
which
fuck.
is insane. So it's like, if you don't feel that, you know, want to be a caregiver, you're going to hate being a parent.
Yeah,
you're going to hate it.
It's so true. Do you ever think like, and this isn't saying that this is true, but like, that people judge you or think of you differently, or like, do you ever get those vibes from people that they're like, you know, because I feel like there's a whole thing like some people think women are like meant to do that. And if you don't, it's like, what are you giving? And I know, like, I obviously don't think that, but have you ever felt like that?
Sure, yes. But I also think like if people decide to feel that way, that's kind of fucked, because there's lots of women out there who can't have children.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for them? Like
100%.
I mean, part of me also thinks that as humans, we think of ourselves far too highly. Your life doesn't have to have these higher purposes. Sometimes your purpose in life is just to live.
Just exist.
Just exist, get through it, have a nice time. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
So, like, the idea that it's your purpose, I don't believe in any of that shit, because I think there are plenty of people out there who can't have children but maybe want to, and that's so unfair to them.
Yeah.
But, like, if anyone wants to judge me, they're welcome to, but I don't give a fuck. Because I also think that, like, I do think sometimes some of it comes from envy and jealousy.
100%. And probably, I mean, but like, it's true. I mean, then that's not to say that you might not sometimes feel jealous of parents. You know, it's
I
like,
feel
it goes
sometimes.
both ways,
Yeah, sometimes
you know?
when I'm spending time with, like, my sister and my niece have such a lovely close relationship, and I'm very close to my sister, so I'm close to my niece. But like when we're all together, and I have another niece, and she's such a perfect little angel, and I think to myself all the time, like, God, if I knew I was going to have a kid like you, I'd have one tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I do feel a bit envious of my brother and his other daughter's also an absolute scream. So I'm like, I'd love to have such a little firecracker in my house too.
But you do, just not in your house.
They just don't live with me.
Yeah, and I guess it's the same for like gay people.
Yeah.
So do you think like they're not going to have like biological kids in a loving relationship?
Totally.
Like whether they adopt, like obviously adoptive parents are still parents and surrogacy and everything, but like thinking like if they're like thinking the only reason we're here is to procreate, it's like Well,
also too, that expectation only ever falls on women.
So real.
Men are never ever spoken about like their purpose in life is to be a parent.
I've actually never heard of a guy that said like and truly meant that they don't want kids, because I think that their assumption is that it's not really their job. So it's like, oh, like, yeah, of course I want kids because they don't really have to do much.
Yeah, it's also just like that whole idea that there's men out there in the manosphere or whatever who want a legacy. It's like, what legacy?
Yeah, like
you don't even wipe your ass. Like, what legacy is that? Like
what,
no one cares about your legacy, and I mean that in a not like to everyone. Like it is scary. I think as human beings, because when I turned 40, I really thought about death like quite a lot, and so. I think we wrestle with this idea of like, what's going to happen to my memory? Who's going to remember me? What's my legacy? Who gives a fuck?
It gets deleted.
Everything moves on eventually.
Yeah, there was a really good quote I heard recently about like, men are like, who's going to carry on my family name, and what was it?
No one cares, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, literally no one, like, you don't even carry yourself with dignity in this life.
Totally. Like, you don't even know how to put on a fitted sheet. Like, why?
Like, it's one corner at a time, babe, but it's too hard somehow. Genuinely. No, but
yes,
for real. The other thing I was going to say is in nature, like, you know, I feel like the animals, like, obviously their just instinct is to, like, have more kids and procreate. Yeah. But then, like, if they don't, I don't think they're sad about it.
No,
I don't think they even notice.
You know, this is a fun little story. This is my other interests intersecting. I love orcas. Orcas are my killer whales.
I thought you meant orchids, the flower, and I was orcas, like, they just die.
No, the killer whale. I truly believe that they are our true matriarchal leaders. When the revolution comes, the orcas will take over. Anyway, I love them so much.
You did work at SeaWorld.
I did work at SeaWorld.
A vibe. Yeah,
that's correct. Cool. I also have an orca tattoo. Like, I'm just very, very into them on my arm.
Wow. Amazing.
Anyway, it's very fresh, so it hasn't settled yet.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So there was an orca at SeaWorld in America. Now, I do not condone the orcas being in captivity. I don't agree with any of that.
It's called Blackfish. Is that the documentary?
Yes, great documentary.
Remember it, yeah.
But there was, I fell down a bit of a hyperfixation rabbit hole during lockdown, where I researched every single orca in captivity at SeaWorld in America, and I learnt their names and who their pods were and who their family were and all this and stuff. Anyway, there was one particular orca there whose name was Corky, and she was the kind of one of the matriarchal leaders of I believe the California park, and she had never been able to have a live birth before. So she had been pregnant many, many times. They tried to breed her. She'd had pregnancies, but that she'd either had stillbirths or the baby had not lived past a few days. And so she'd never had her own children. But what happened was she wasn't the leader of her pod at San Diego. She was like, another orca was the matriarch, but she was kind of the second in command. And what happened naturally is she took on a maternal role for the new orcas that were being brought in from other parks. And so, yes, like, there was an element of her that like naturally took on that role, but she didn't like mother them, but she would like look out for them kind of thing. Like, she was protective of them. She got close to them. They followed her around, like, and so she like got to have these relationships with these other whales, and like, but she wasn't depressed or anything. It's not like she like stopped performing. She still was like really vibrant and loved to perform. And not that I again condone any of that stuff, but she lived a long life. She didn't lose anything, you know. She didn't have kids and she was totally fine.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's so
I think about her a lot.
Oh my god, I feel like this orca's really changed her life.
I know she has. Like, I just think, in nature, animals are kind of have that drive to procreate, but also they're living in a world run by us, so like they kind of have to.
Our main thing as well, like at every organism and every living thing's main drive is to survival.
Correct.
But we're out there doing
we're
ketamine.
The apex predator.
Like I'm in danger a lot. Like, I am driving crazy. I will try most drugs. Like, I will do things. I'm eating terrible foods, like
I'm out here sucking down Diet Coke every day. Sucking dick. Having my like fridge cigarette every day. Botox fillers.
Fridge cig. Wait, is it in the fridge?
No, Diet Coke. It's a fridge cigarette.
Oh, I thought you had a cig in the fridge.
Oh,
and I was like, that...
But great idea.
Seems like something that would exist, like a TikTok
100%,
thing. Like,
yeah.
Put your cigarette in the fridge and
no one will know that you smoke.
Yeah. Wait, is that a thing?
Did I just come up with a new concept? I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, because we don't have... We're the apex predator. We don't have any threats. So, like, if we don't procreate, it doesn't really matter.
And humans are, like, probably the only animal that kill themselves. Like, is there any others? My friend had a hamster that jumped off the desk once and killed itself.
I had goldfish that definitely did not want to live anymore.
I've had enough.
They just kept jumping out of the tank.
But I think that was maybe a desire, like a joie de vivre, like a zest for life. Like they wanted to live so bad they needed to see more.
I really like that reframing. That's very positive.
Like they had a certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, like just buzzing to be here. So they're like, woo! Like, you know?
I'm just thrilled to be living in this fish tank in suburban Brisbane. I've got to see the world.
I want to see more.
Got to see more of this.
Like in
kitchen.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
You know? They want to leave the tank.
Well, I found them too late, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Have you ever seen videos on TikTok where they put the goldfish in the toilet and then it just starts swimming around and then it swims underneath and leaves?
No.
It's so funny. They're like doing a funeral and then it comes back to life and it's like, see ya.
I'm out.
Yeah. No, genuinely so funny.
That would make me too sad.
I know. I really want to find this quote. I'll cut this bit out, but this quote was I think it was a tweet. It was like...
I love how we say... I read this quote the other day. It's like, it was just on Threads. Or it was just a TikTok video.
I love how Threads is like... I used to go on Threads heaps because I had notifications on, but then like it was just coming up too much and I was like...
I actually love Threads. I've really made a nice Twitter. Place for myself in Threads.
Once your algorithms get going, you're like, this is
sick.
This is a good place to be. My TikTok's like that at the moment. I get in bed, I'm buzzing. I'm like, I'm going to watch 2 hours of my favourite show, which is just weird people being
Which is just
funny.
fruit and vegetables bouncing up and down to music.
And God forbid a girl has a hobby. Genuinely.
Oh, is that one that says like men want children like children want a puppy?
Yeah. Men want children like...
I mean, it's all flavours of the same idea, right? Like
yeah, like have their DNA carried on and stuff, but it's like it's not... Like DNA's not real.
No.
Anyway.
Also too, if I had a kid, my kid would definitely be getting my name anyway.
That's the thing.
There is no way I would be carrying a child to term, going through labour and delivery, and then slapping my partner's name on it. Like,
isn't it weird as well? Like men want to carry on their last name, but it's like their mothers and every mother they've ever had, their last name like would have ended with them.
Totally.
Which is so fucking grim.
It's so grim.
And also, but who gives a fuck? It's just words.
Totally. Also
real.
That as well, but like me being the petty bitch that I am, I'm like, if I'm having the kid's having my name.
100%.
Like, and then people are like, oh, it's your father's name. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's nothing I can do about that now, is there?
Yeah,
like, it's too far gone, but like...
Didn't even think of that.
Could change that now. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'll find out my great-great-great-great-grandmother's name.
Totally.
Her name was probably like Yzma or something. Because she was probably an Aztec.
Like, it's probably like Smith or some shit. It's probably so boring.
That's really glam. Love that so much.
I mean, Edwards is already like Jones, essentially.
A double-barreled last name. What happens if 2 double-barreled kids get married? Is it just a quadruple barrel?
I've always wanted to meet someone who just like took the letters from their names and then just like made a new name for their kid. Can you do that? Yes, you can. Lots of people do it. I've never met anyone that's done it.
Wait, for their kid or for themselves?
For their kid. And then some of them take it for themselves.
Wait, as in like, so Smith marries Russell and they become like Smussel?
Yep.
Oh, what? That's fun. That is fun.
I would love to do that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, and it's official.
I mean, I guess you can go down and change your name by deed poll to ketamine if you wanted to.
And Lord knows I will.
I would.
Did it yesterday.
God forbid a girl has a hobby.
to get approved. Have you ever seen the list of baby names that are not allowed?
No.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Please tell me.
Okay.
I need more.
List of banned baby names, Australia. It's very funny.
Tell me.
All right, these are the list of the banned baby names in Australia. Let me scroll to it. Okay. Adolf Hitler.
Fair.
Anzac.
That's banned?
Yep.
That's very patriotic. I thought they'd love that.
Well.
Okay, I was obviously wrong.
Australia. You can't go and get Australia.
Again, unpatriotic.
Bonghead. I love that it's banned, which means someone tried. Like, someone has to have tried and been rejected. So that's crazy. Bomb. So you're in the airport. Bomb.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Yeah. Bomb Smith to the to count of 10, please.
Chow Tow.
Why not?
Don't know. Racist. iMac.
Is that because Steve Jobs will come back from the grave and sue you or something?
Probably. Cyanide.
Okay, yeah, fair. That's
cyanide's kind of a beautiful name for a baby girl. This is my baby Cyanide. Sorry.
This is very that episode of Kath and Kim where they go through those.
Yeah, epiphany.
Cardio infarction. Oh, no.
Cardio.
For short.
Dickhead.
Fair.
Devil.
I mean, we've got Devon.
Christ. The second coming of Christ.
Jesus. I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, true. Facebook.
I mean, yuck. Anything to do with Mark Zuckerberg, why would you?
Harry Potter.
I have to tell you,
what?
Many years ago, I went to work in Korea at a school camp where they needed like English speaking teachers when I was like 20 or whatever. And it was so much fun. I did it for a few months and like, I'm sure you already know this, but like when they go to English camp, the Korean students, they can pick their own English name because us dumbass English-speaking teachers that they hire can't speak Korean.
I know where it's going.
So they can pick whatever they want. Whatever they want. In my class alone, and there was only like 17 of them,
yes.
In my class alone, I had 2 kids called Harry Potter. Wait. I had another kid called Iceman. Respect. I loved him. And a little girl, she called herself Merry Christmas. Love her.
That is
amazing.
So funny.
And a lot of them also used to call themselves Tom or Jerry because they loved Tom and Jerry, which I also thought was adorable. But I just think Iceman is just absolutely elite.
But where did he learn that?
I assume from Top Gun, the movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think 2 kids being called Harry Potter, like 2 names is so funny. It's like being called like Anne-Marie, but like your name's out. That is genuinely the funniest shit ever.
This is my boyfriend, Harry Potter. This is my girlfriend, Merry Christmas.
And imagine her at Christmas time being like, I can get all these tops with my name on it.
Totally.
Oh my, that is so funny.
Honestly, it was the best. I remember thinking to myself, I wish that I was able to do this because they're also like 8.
Yes,
so, and they can choose crazy shit. They can pick whatever they want, and I love that.
That's so iconic.
If you're out there, Iceman, I hope you're doing really well.
And Harry Potter. Although hopefully they didn't become trans.
That.
Yeah. If they were trans and their name's Harry Potter, they'd be like, change that.
Yeah, goodbye.
Let me finish off these band names. That was the best story ever. Tell it again.
again.
King. Can't name your baby King.
You can call a baby Queen though, can't you?
Well, we'll find out. Okay. No, it's not on there.
Oh, so. Queenie, I guess, is a different name. Anyway. Yeah. Right.
Lady.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like you can call a dog Lady. You can call a
dog Iceman if you want.
Call a dog Bonghead if you want. And Lord knows I will.
You can call a dog Dickhead if you want.
Yeah, literally. Mafia. Marijuana. I feel like there's a theme here.
Yep.
Medicare.
I'm going to call my next dog Medicare.
Yeah,
for sure.
So funny. That's so good. Ned Kelly.
What?
I feel like, what if your
first
name Ned, middle name Kelly?
Fine.
Well, apparently not.
What happens if you accidentally don't know this and you put it on the birth certificate? Did the police come to the house?
I think it just, I guess it has to get approved, right?
I have no idea. I've never done it.
Next one is Nutella.
Are you serious?
I think Nutella's a beautiful name for a beautiful baby girl.
I agree.
Nutella.
It's Italian.
Yeah, and the name had to come from somewhere.
I'm sure that's
also,
what
it's just like a variation of Ella.
Yeah.
Not Ella. Osama bin Laden. I love how specific it is. There's only 2, well, Harry Potter if we're counting fictional people. Oh, Hitler, Osama bin Laden. But what about like Saddam Hussein? Like
that's not banned?
Not on there.
Oh, well then.
Osama bin Laden's so specific. Like that's just like why him? Like there's plenty of bad people. Stalin. Just forgetting
King Jong-un.
Yeah, literally. Trump. But there's loads of babies called... And they're probably calling it Trump instead of Donald because they're so dumb. This is like when Game of Thrones come out and people calling their baby Khaleesi. No, well, Khaleesi. But I'm like, her name's not Khaleesi. Her name's Daenerys. You're thick.
Yeah.
Here's some more. Panties.
Yep.
Ranger.
Aww. I mean, they're going to get called that anyway.
Like,
if they've got
this
red
means
hair.
people have tried. Like, this is so, can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything. Ranger.
Robocop, similar to Iceman.
It is very Iceman, yeah.
Satan.
Okay.
Scrotum.
Yeah, I'd rule that one out.
Shithead. Smelly.
That's the nickname I gave every single friend of mine in school.
Smelly.
Smelly melly.
Socceroos.
That is unpatriotic.
I think that's a beautiful name for a baby
boy.
Like, and also Socceroos plural. Not even Socceroos. The last 2 are my favourite. Terrorist. And virgin.
Richard Branson's going to be so upset.
I was thinking like, virgin. I'm calling a baby he is a virgin.
They are. I mean, it's just...
His name's Christ, for God's sake.
His name's Osama
His
bin
mum was a
Laden.
virgin, so is he. God, that was
amazing.
Yeah, that's...
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That makes me want to have a kid just so I can see what would happen.
Someone says, in 2023, a journalist successfully registered her 3rd son's name as Methamphetamine Rules. And so
I think I read about that.
And she says, we chose methamphetamine thinking there's no way anyone will see that word and think it's okay, Drysdale said at the time. But we were wrong. Was she doing it for like
for an article?
Maybe.
Did
but
she
like,
change it later?
Imagine like you find out later like, oh yeah, you were briefly legally named Methamphetamine Rules.
Your mum was just trying to punk the Department of whatever where do you get your name changed?
God knows, but I think Methamphetamine Rules is a beautiful name for a baby girl.
Almost as good as Nutella.
Yeah. I genuinely think that's kind of a nice name. Like, and then when you get the personalised Nutella jars with your name,
you don't need to pay the extra. They're all personalised.
They're like, wow, they named all of these after me. Yes, Nutella, they did. It's a beautiful name for a beautiful girl.
Oh God, that was great. Thank you.
Well,
I think that's wrapping
a good place to end. This was so good. I feel like now I don't have to have kids, but like if I did, I would call it Bonghead. I think Bonghead, shithead.
No, Facebook.
Facebook was good. Fuck me. That's so funny.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming and letting me read those
My
to you.
pleasure.
Love you guys. I hope you love this episode. And if you did, remember to like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.